All right, well, today we're going to be looking at The Fall Guy, which was came out at the beginning of the summer 2024. It was supposed to be like that first big summer blockbuster and didn't quite do as well as I expected. But it is a fun movie, a little bit light on story, but a lot of heart, a lot of fun. Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt.
And that's a romance story in there too as well.
Yep, that's right. And we've seen both of them before. Ryan Gosling in Remember the Titans
and your favorite movie.
Your favorite movie. Our favorite. It was not our favorite movie. The Barbie movie.
Can we just cry again?
Although he was the best part. He was probably the best part of the Barbie movie. Ken.
Of course, the guy was. Well done, Tim.
Well, he's the one that got nominated for an award, right?
He did.
Or something like that. Let's see. Then we also saw Emily Blunt in
Quiet Place.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good movie. Really good. We did that in season 1. So the film's rated PG-13 for action and violence. There's some drug content and strong language. The drug content is not like a willing thing. He gets drugged.
Leads to a unicorn.
We'll come back to that later. That's why Casey liked the movie. So it's based on an old TV show called The Fall Guy with Lee Majors and Heather Thomas, and they make some cameos in the end credits, which confused you.
I'm like, who are these people? Because you could tell the movie, they wanted to mean something to you, like it was important. I had no idea why it was important.
Right.
Like, oh, okay, there they are.
And now you know.
Now I know.
That's what happens when you're young and
a whippersnapper.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what you call us, right? Whippersnappers?
Whippersnapper.
Can't tell these young whippersnappers anything.
All right. So the plot, real quickly. Colt Seavers, he's a stuntman, and he suffers a back injury on set doing a stunt, and he kind of shuts down. And he was in a relationship with Jody, who was a camera operator. And then 18 months later, story fast forwards, he's back on the set.
And he's pushed her away.
Yeah, during that time, he kind of shut down and pushed everybody away. But he's back on the set unbeknownst to her. And she's now directing her first big...
Which was her dream.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so he's willing to go through anything for her to fulfill that dream. And they discover that there's something much more dangerous than the stunts going on the set, because the star and the producer have set him up for a crime that the star committed.
So he could be the fall guy.
He could be the fall guy. He'd be framed for it. He looked similar to him. They're the same size. It'd be easy to make it look like.
And then like deep fake technology, and put his face on his face and make him look like the guy and all that sort of stuff.
And so without giving too much away.
Yeah, I just did. There you go.
Way to go, Bryan. Anyways, the whole movie is essentially an ode to stuntmen.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. He's at the beginning of the show, there's a song called Unknown Stuntman. And in there, it's pretty funny. Like he's talking about he's been with all the leading ladies, but nobody ever sees them on film together. It stinks watching Clint Eastwood or somebody else walk off with...
It would be really interesting if you were a stuntman and you did a part in a movie and you're watching it like, oh, that's my body flopping down there. And then the guy pops up and it's not your face anymore.
Right.
You're like, oh, he gets all the credit, but yeah.
That's right. And if you think about like in Hollywood with the Oscars and everything, there's no award for stuntmen or stunt crew.
I was kind of surprised by that.
And there really should be.
Yeah.
I know there's arguments against that, that then they would try to make the stunts more dangerous. And yet what we found in the places where
they get more dangerous.
I don't know. The places where they do award those things, they get safer because it's usually given to the stunt coordinator. And if he ends up killing a stuntman, he's not going to win the award. So
probably shouldn't win the award.
That's right. And so they get safer and safer. But it'd be like Jackie Chan every year or Tom Cruise winning.
Because those guys are incredible.
Yeah. Especially
Jackie Chan's like how old?
I think he's early 70s now.
He's probably still doing his own stunts.
He still moves better than I do.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, he's just incredible. In fact, he had a movie last year in 2024 called Ride On, where it was with a horse who was like a stunt horse, and then he was a stuntman. And but we'll talk more about stuntmen as we go. Let's take a look at the first clip here, which actually is the opening of the movie where they're kind of telling us about stuntmen and women.
So painful.
They're in almost every movie. You just don't know that they're there. Because that's the job. They're the unknown stunt performer. And they get paid to do the cool stuff. They also get paid to take it on the chin. And everywhere else, if you know what I mean. Oh, that's me. Colt Seavers. Getting blown up and hiding my face in a muddy puddle. Which isn't ideal when you're trying to look cool in front of Jody.
Okay, they do the cool stuff, but it looks way too painful.
Yeah, my back hurts just
Think
watching
about
it.
how many weeks of rehab I would need just for like one of those stunts.
I would never walk again.
And I'm not kidding. No, my aching back.
So this one, you think about the behind-the-scenes crew
Right.
for movies. You got cameramen, even here on the set.
Oh, goodness.
It's not just Tim and Bryan. I know that we're the heroes. we're the people up front. But
Tim said
they have a
that.
tough job. They got to make us look good.
Oh, I mean, if people understood how much goes on behind the scenes for the editing to make us look at all decent, there's a lot of editing that takes place.
A lot of Photoshop, right?
A lot of Photoshop. But no, I mean, and they do so much work in putting it together, making it streamlined, making the show entertaining and enjoyable and watchable, and hopefully something that you want to watch again.
Yeah.
That's not just us talking. That's people making all the edits, adding the different things, adding different the visual effects, and adding the candy cane in the right place at the right time, and all those sorts of things. Inside joke. But have you seen the last
or the
episode of
shirts for the
Wonderful Life?
Barbie
Or the
movie.
shirts for the Barbie movie, and then the sound effects, and then adding the videos in later on. There's so much work that goes in by so many people to get the sound right, the visuals right.
Well, if you think of a movie, the end credits, it's not like 30 seconds.
No,
it goes on
it's
for like
so
5 to 8 minutes
forever.
because there's
Yeah.
just names forever and ever.
Yep.
Yeah, because there's so many people that are involved in making it happen.
So first of all, thank you to everybody who makes this show happen.
Well, most of them.
Tim said that, not me. Just say it.
Well, you told me there were 2 earlier. But the same thing happens in other areas of life. I mean,
Yep, it's very true.
The same thing happens in the church. It happens here on this show. You have a lot of people who are behind the scenes making things happen, and it's nice to see them get recognized.
And you think about it in a church setting as well. With the pastor does the preaching, he's on the stage, so people see him. And he does need to be recognized when engaging people and honored for that position. But there's so many people around him helping him do what he does. The associate pastors, the staff around him, the people who clean the church, the people helping with the youth. I mean, all the different parts. We're like
Just
different
the
parts
people
of
who
the
are
body.
living day-to-day life out in the church, who are out there witnessing to people and sharing
exactly right.
And discipling and all the just everybody's involved, every part of it.
It's like we're different parts of a body.
I've heard that
But
somewhere before.
one body with one focus and one
Kind
hand.
of like Paul wrote in 1 Corinthians, right? 1 Corinthians 12, 21 and 22, the eye cannot say to the hand, I have no need of you, nor again the head to the feet, I have no need of you. On the contrary, the parts of the body that seem to be weaker are indispensable. And I think we live in such a celebrity culture where we always want to put somebody on a podium and elevate them. And so I really like in this movie that they're not doing that. They're saying, hey, it's the other guys, the other people that really make this happen.
Now, sometimes we so much want to be recognized that we feel like we're not being recognized and we have no value. And that's not true at all. The verse is even saying that those parts that seem like they seem less needed, they're indispensable. And so even though if you're not on a stage or a platform, the role God has you playing it for a reason. And then it's important to the body of Christ and where he's called you and put you.
You know, I work on the design team at Answers Genesis, the attractions design, the people that make all the exhibits and everything. I don't do any of that. I can't. I have no artistic ability, but I am visible. I get to do this. I get to speak. I get to, give tours, all that kind of stuff. So people recognize me. They don't really recognize most of the people on my team.
That's right.
But it's cool in our staff meetings when they get recognized. When Alan does such a great job recognizing everybody. It's really cool to see them get their due credit because they do such a phenomenal job.
Well, and I can't help but mention, as you say that, just the design team, but also all the other employees of Answers in Genesis who make the attractions and the ministry go.
Do you know what in other
lot of
words,
people.
wherever you're at, whatever you're doing, you're playing an important role.
That's right.
And do it to the best of your ability, do it for God's glory, and give him the credit for it. So how about we check out another clip?
That'd probably be a good idea.
All right, because we can go on.
Have we thanked everybody yet?
Yeah. All right.
Mom, Dad.
So we've seen Colt and Jody there in that first scene. So we talked about how he had an accident that pretty much nearly ended his career. He kind of shut down, and so he kind of shut her out as well. She finally gets her big break. She's going to direct this film called Metal Storm, which is pretty.
great name.
It's like a film within a film, so it's kind of.
Well, the movie is very self-aware too,
Yeah.
so that's part of the fun of it.
Right, it would be a crazy, goofy movie and kind of probably fun. I would probably enjoy it, but you get to see a little bit behind the scenes of how they make films, and so that's kind of enjoyable as well. Unknown to Jody, Colt has been called in to perform
By
a
the
stunt.
producer.
By the producer.
Yeah, who has an ulterior motive, but she's calling man to be the stunt man.
Right, and so then she finds out after they do the stunt where the car rolls like 7.5 or 8.5 times, which is an incredibly dangerous
There's her
stunt.
ex-boyfriend who she fell in love with and broke her
I
heart.
might be wrong, but I think they actually did that stunt for the movie, and it was a world record or something like that. But
Oh, really?
I think I saw
Okay.
that somewhere. Maybe that's just in the movie, but I think that's true. When she finds out who it is, she's understandably upset because she's upset with him for ghosting her for months and months and months. You know, they had this relationship, and suddenly he doesn't return her calls. So she takes that out on him by making him repeat a stunt over and over again.
Set on fire and thrown into a rock.
Yeah, and embarrassing him in front of everybody. So let's take a look toward the end of that.
I'm gonna be sick.
And you know what? We're going to go again, Colt, because there was a little buzz on that one.
Okay, light him up.
He's already done this multiple times.
It's just feeling so withheld. So how about some dialogue? Yeah, that's all right, darling. I'm going to go straight to the source. Hey, Colt, if Space Cowboy had to say something, if he was forced to say something, what would he say? How would he justify this year she spent spinning out over this? What could he say? It's a puzzler, isn't it? But have you got any thoughts?
Maybe he'd
Nigel,
talk.
can you get him a bullhorn? I can't hear him.
Traveling.
That's what it looks like for our set.
Come again, Colt. What was that?
It's already on. In this movie, do the aliens and the humans ever talk in private?
No, not really.
No private conversations?
No, they don't like doing private. They like to keep it very public, very open.
Well, maybe I'll just open it up to the group here. Have you ever been in one of those situations where you want to say something and it's so important that you can't mess it up? So you think long and hard about it, and then you realize you've already messed it up because you thought too long and too hard about it?
It's so funny. The clip continues. The alien beside him wants to chime in and takes a bullhorn.
It's not
starts
very
talking.
appropriate what he says.
It's not, but it's so awkward.
It's weird seeing the aliens.
Alien.
But think about what Colt is doing here.
Yeah.
He's already broken his back, and he could move on with his career, move on with his life, do something different. Yet he's willing to go there, put himself in harm's way.
Maybe re-injure his back.
Yeah, and do
Possibly.
these very dangerous things. Why? So she can fulfill her dream.
And he really wants her to succeed in the directing role. That's really, you see that throughout the entire movie. And so he also wants to repair that relationship if possible. And so he's willing to go through this. And so if you watch the movie, she does that multiple times. He's thrown into the rock over and over and over
Even though he did it fine, but
Which
she's
is
like,
a
oh, we missed a little
terrible
bit.
example of forgiveness. Like, that's not forgiveness.
When are you going to give this up?
Maybe never. Maybe I'll never give this up.
That is retaliation.
But think about what he's willing to do
Yeah.
physically to help her achieve her goal, but he wouldn't step out of his own comfort zone emotionally to help repair that early on.
It was
he
his
was explaining a
pride
little
that
bit
got in the way of
why.
life.
I mean, people make mistakes, and I don't know if it's always guys are like that, where you overthink something so much, and by the time it does make it worse, because then you don't want to take that risk and it's going to wreck it. I don't know.
Well, sometimes you're overthinking it too because you're not wanting to be honest.
Yeah.
You're trying to avoid what's really the core issue. And
I think you can sympathize with her being frustrated, being angry.
Oh, yeah.
But like you mentioned, that's not forgiveness.
well, she feels
that would
betrayed.
be the better way.
She was betrayed.
Yep.
You know, she had this relationship, and you would think, I'm sure from her perspective, this guy got hurt, someone you care about, so you want to take care of him. You
And
want
she
to
says
be
that later
there
on.
for
She wanted
him.
to help him. Yeah.
And he's just shutting her out, and she's like, wait, this is the time you need me the most. And so surely she's confused and feels betrayed and so forth and so on.
So guys, don't do that.